feel like a supermodel. No genie ain't in a bottle. Hey.
I love it.
You know.
Now, so once again, it's Chris Williams here with Etana, of course, talking about the amazing new album coming up, Pamoja, and just talking a little bit more about you and what you've been doing. So obviously, one of the things that we've been hearing a lot of is the Etana and sort of this new look, right? People just keep buzzing and talking about it. Like, so obviously, I mean, you know, for you, like, what does it mean to sort of show a different side of Etana?
I mean, I don't see like a big difference, but I know exactly what they're talking about. And it was intentionally done, you know, and I think that I'm having fun creating new music, and I'm still enjoying my style of wearing my long dresses and my some clothing with maybe just a little bit of cleavage showing, or maybe not. I'm just doing me. I'm doing my style, you know. And I think that my fans who've been around for a long time, they know, and they're just rolling right along. And those who are still back at 2008 on Wrong Address and I'm Not Afraid and stuff, I think they just need to catch up, and that's it. You know, like I told somebody the other day, I said, the next time that I talk to somebody, I'm going to say to them, or I'm going to ask them how they feel if after being in, just say in a house for a decade, you're told that you have to stay in the same house for another decade, and you could change nothing about it. Don't change anything at all, and don't change anything about you. Would that be living, you know? And so, of course, the answer would be no. You know, we have to evolve. We have to
adapt.
And then more than anything, we have to be happy, you know?
Yeah.
In all the evolution and the advancements and all of these things, we have to be happy.
Yeah.
And I'm happy.
This change, as people see it, does not impact, you know, the core and the essence of who Etana is, because the music, the message, it's all still there.
Very much. And with this new album, it's called Pamoja, because I think more than anything, now is the time for us to come together.
Right.
And a part of me is saying, if not now, then when? You know, we need to come together. And in every song, even in proper, you want me to hand it over? Then come at me proper. You know, it's basically saying that woman. Yeah, you know, a man has to step to a woman proper with respect and love. And a woman also has to have, you know, her side, or, you know, all together, put together. So they both bring to the table. They both bring to the relationship. And that's what that is about. But if you hear how happy that the track is and how, you know, the style and the flow and everything, you probably would have to, I thought, or I still think that a lot of people will catch on later and be like, oh my God, you know, this is what this meant, or whatever. They'll catch it later after they rock to the rhythm a couple of times and dance a couple of times.
Yeah, they'll catch it. They'll catch it. And the video is so, like, it's infectious. Like the vibe, the energy. I could feel the vibe and energy between you and Stonebwoy, which, by the way, you guys recorded in New York, right? It was in New York,
we did
Jersey?
it in New York.
Yeah, okay.
In New York, in the middle of a pandemic. It was very different. Like, we had 2 different treatments. And one of them was, you know, about having a party in a room, and we couldn't do that, obviously, because we can't have more than a certain amount of people in one room. So we had to change the whole thing and do another treatment that was, you know, a little broken down with maybe just 4 people together at one time. And also Stonebwoy had to take like several tests coming over to the United States to enter in. And I had to take a test to go, just to make sure, like, everybody in the set had to take a test to make sure, you know, that everybody was cool and that we could actually be in the same room, even though the number was still kept small.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, that's
So it's a
it's a
different time for
process.
sure.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
You know, and then now you gave us Propo with Stone Boy. You have this great album put together with, you know, songs, tracks like Not for Sale and Melanin and so forth. And then this phenomenal track that you did in Swahili. So like tell me about like sort of what made this album, like what was it that inspired you to create this album in this way?
Well, first of all, like I said, I think it's now time for us to forget about the imaginary lines that separate us.
Mm-hmm.
Or and I think one of the biggest challenge would be to get over the conditioning that a lot of us have, you know, gotten over time. But I think that we just need to find a way to unite. We need to work together. We need to come together and be stronger in the family. We need to be stronger together in our respective countries. Just worldwide, we need to come together, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did 3 collaborations for the album. Initially, that's what it was going to be,
Oh wow.
you know.
What were the
Yeah,
three? What were the three
and then
initially?
I did the one with Stone Boy first.
Right.
Then I did one with Nai Boy from Kenya,
Right.
and I think I did another one with because I was still waiting for the Vibes Cartel one. I wanted to do that one,
Okay.
and so I did another one with Alberosi.
Right. Right.
I think
Right.
3 of
Yeah.
them,
Yeah. 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 That was
and
Vibes, right?
then
Vibe, I think was that.
Vibes, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Vibes. Yeah.
And then after that, then I started to get calls like from like I got like a message from Wezi on Instagram, and she was like, "Hey, you know, I'm a fan of yours, and I just wanted to say hi."
Right.
And I was like, "No, actually, my album is finished, but I want you to jump on this album
Right.
too."
Right.
And
Right. Right.
I was like, "I
Right.
have this track," and then I talked to her about Not for Sale, and she was like, "Send it over." And in about a week, she sent it back, and I was like, "Yep, this is going on the album." And then everybody just started, the songs just started to roll in, like, you know, like different situations, different occasions, and I meet up and talk to people, and I'm like, okay. And by the time, you know, the album was completed,
Mm-hmm.
I ended up with all these collaborations, and I said it's perfect because the album, the meaning of Pamoja is together.
Mm-hmm.
And I got together with all these musicians from all over, from Zambia, from Kenya, from Zimbabwe, you know,
Wow.
and we made it happen. And we came together and created some strong songs. And yeah, I think the message just came together and came across and went through the whole album from the beginning when I spoke about legacy, you know, building a legacy in a relationship, to when I got to like even a sensual song like Clap, I call it, you know. I think that even though people think in relationships we have different views and different ideas,
Mm-hmm.
but more than anything, more than having to give as a woman and showing all the love that we do, we also have to know how to put it down too, so we can hold down the house in a different way. And
Yes.
then when I got to the song called Malaika, Nakupenda Malaika, you know, from Miriam Makeba, is my angel, I love you. So with all the messages and what the album means and all this stuff, at the end, I let them know that it's all out of love. And I say, my angels, I love you.
Yeah.
The album to me has everything that is about us, everything that we need, but at the same time it's so happy, so it's so full of movement,
Mm-hmm.
and so light sometimes, you know. I think that's what I like about it the most.
Listen, so far I've listened to the album twice, and I'm going to listen to it more. And I, you know, obviously, this is because, you know, before I spoke to you, I said I have to hear this. I need to hear. I need to feel it because, you know, we've been following your career, like I said, for a while now. I mean, since you first came on the scene, and I've featured you on Where It's At, and you know, we're big fans. And by we, I mean me, my mom, my dad. We just, you know, we
Mom
live.
and dad high again.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. We live and love
Yeah.
Etana. So it's, you know, it was so this sound. And I think you're always, if you know, if I can say this, as I've been following your career, I've always seen change, right? I think as an artist, there's always going to be growth. So I don't understand why people are say anything, to be honest, because you're
I
supposed,
don't get it either.
you know, but the what I hear, man, if this is what we're getting from you now, 5 years from now, I think you blow a mind in another level. I mean, you know,
For
here it is,
sure.
you know, Grammy nominated. You know, you've charted on Billboard. You've done all this great work, and now, you know, you're doing these collaborations with your Junior Gong, your Vibes Cartel. Well, I mean, everybody wants to know about Vibes Cartel. What led to that collaboration?
I've always wanted to do a song with Vibes Cartel.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, I thought that it would be perfect to get that song done now. And I did think, how was it going to ever be possible because of, you know, where he is, and somehow my team contacted his team, and they teamed up with the engineer, and they made the song happen. And I remember posting after it was posted to Facebook, and I checked through the comments. I saw somebody say, "Oh, she did Etana go for Cartel in a jail and go record the song," and I'm like, "Oh God!" And how could she, Etana, do a song with Cartel? And you know, more than anything, he's an artist. He's a creative person. I'm an artist. I'm a creative person. I wasn't there when any crime, because people would say, "Oh, he committed that crime," blah blah blah. I don't know what happened. All I know is he's an artist and he's a creative person. I wasn't there when anything happened, and I'm focusing on the music. And just because somebody might be in a difficult situation at the moment, it doesn't mean that something good cannot come from the same person.
Exactly.
And I think that is what I accomplished. I accomplished a great song with a good message. It's him say it's about a feeling, right? And he says, it's all about the soul, not the flesh. More than sex. Thank God for the blessing. I send some beads with a message. So sweet you are. It's amazing. Soother of my soul, bringer of life. Forever is too short. We exist before time. Those are great lines.
It's poetry. Like, that's poetry. Like,
you know. So I mean, I'm glad that I was able to pull those great lines out of Vibes Cartel. You know, even in this situation, even in this time, something great can still come out of the moment, you know? So for him, a lot of people may think, oh, it's such a dark moment, it's such a sad time for him. But at the end of the day, great things, light shines out just the same, you know, and I'm grateful for that.
Yes, yeah, definitely. You know, it's like I said, this album, what it represents, I think people are going to be super excited when they hear it. And you know, it's a lot of work, and so people can expect to hear this. This is going to drop around about when?
June.
Okay.
June, yes.
In June. Excellent. So June 2021.
And that's the first time I'm ever saying that. But
yeah. No, we listen.
I think it's time. Yeah.
Yeah, we put it out there, and you know, you've been doing all this great work. Now, one of the things I have to ask, because you know, you're, you know, not just an artist, you're a mother. You know, you are a leader. You know, you're a wife. You're doing all these phenomenal things. How do you manage that and then put out, because this will be your 8th album?
8th studio album.
Yeah. Like since 2008, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
how do you manage that, do all that, and then, you know, live your life in addition to that?
My life is music, you know. My life is music, and my family, my relatives. And I think I've said earlier, the longest I've ever been home is a week, you know, 1 week.
Right.
And the times that I do take to record, I'm someplace else in my mind, even though I might be home or anywhere else in the world recording. in my mind, I have to go wherever my spirit takes me so I can write the songs,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
and record. And so I'm grateful for supporting relatives and family. And my younger ones, because my youngest daughter is 4 and the older one is 8.
Okay.
So one knows a little bit more. The other
Yeah.
one, she's too small to understand everything, but she does understand a lot, very mature in her mind for her age. But I'm grateful for the extra time that I've gotten to be with them over this COVID period for almost 2 years. It's gonna be 2 years,
Yeah, time is flying.
And I'm grateful for the time that I got, because I got time to reflect, analyze, adjust, and to find, places in my own mind that I probably haven't been for a while because I've been so busy,
Yeah.
And so I'm grateful for that too. But how do I make it happen? I just do it like Nike. I just do it because this is what I do. This is me. So I just make it happen.
Yeah. I like that. I just do it like Nike. I like that. So we need a Nike Etana collabo. Like if Nike is listening, you gotta, but because I can hear it right now. I can see the commercial.
Yeah. No, I just do it. I mean, what else am I gonna do? I'm an artist. I do music, and I love poetry. I love to write. I love to record. I also like to travel. I like to be on stage, meeting my fans after the performance is done. And I like to hear people say, hey, when I was going through this, your music brought me through it. When I was here, you made me realize this, I'm glad that I can be some kind of light in people's lives.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
There are 2 songs that I want to get to and just ask what inspired the lyrics, Not For Sale and Melanin. Like, talk to me a little bit more. I
ain't built like a supermodel. No genie ain't in a bottle. Hey.
I love it.
When I hear the horn come on, and the sound of the horn, the power in the horns, and when the bass line drop in, and I can see the waistline going around.
Oh yeah,
for sure. Like that song is just like so wicked. But more than anything, when people see me and I'm not all dressed up, and they'll go, "Oh, Etana, that." They'll still jump on me. Don't get me wrong. Like if they're close enough, they'll jump all over me as Etana McGall. Whoa.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Or if it's a fan that's outside of Jamaica, they will go, "Oh my God, Etana," and they will want to take a picture even when I have no makeup on or anything.
Right.
But the point is that I am me, regardless of anything that you may see on the outside. I'm the very same person, the very same growing, learning, evolving person on the inside. It's very spiritually connected and all these things. And I know society, like I said, I know they're setting up the standards so that we could follow. They said to change it up. I say maybe tomorrow, because a lot of people expect for you to like show a lot more skin. I know that's one of the things that's popular in this time.
Yeah.
Skin. And I mean, if they, as far as they could go, they will try to push you or push an artist to go. So my standard remains the same, regardless of what the standard is.
Yeah.
And I'm happy being there. And I'm just telling every little girl that it's all right. You can set your own standard and be your own you and celebrate you even and love everything about you. And just because you may switch your hair or you may put makeup on or you may put on a tight dress, it doesn't mean that you don't love yourself. It just means that's what you feel like doing right now.
Right. Absolutely.
Basically, that's what that song says.
Yeah. I mean, and so, these are the messages that are coming out of Together. I mean, and I love it. I mean, I love the fact that you like I said, this Swahili, your affinity for Swahili. It's just, and so I feel like I'm just being educated every time, because You know, I had no idea when I heard the name Pamoja. I said, wait, is that new Jamaican expression that I want to know what that? And I Googled it and I was like, oh, that's what I was like,
Yeah.
this is dope. And then of course, you know, obviously your name, you know, Swahili. And then of course the song the sort of tribute to Miriam Makeba, that is also in Swahili. So it's just, I mean, it's beautiful. I mean,
That's the first time I've ever I've ever done a song, a whole song in Swahili. That was like nerve-wracking for the first couple of weeks. Like I was like, oh my God, am I really gonna do this?
Wow.
Because more than I remember the Chinese lady that came to me, an old Chinese lady on Stony Hill. She said, you remind me of Miriam Makeba. You need to do a Miriam Makeba song. I was looking at her like, what are you talking about, you know? And I knew who Miriam Makeba was, but
right.
you really want to do a Miriam Makeba song? Do you really? You know, and because I just never thought that I could do a song in Swahili. And when I recorded the song, I said, oh my God, I did it. Mm-hmm. But in the end, it means, my angel, I love you.
Yeah. You know, it made you realize, right? There's nothing you can't do.
Can't do.
There's nothing.
It's really just because you don't want to do it, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, and so I'm glad that I made the effort. I'm glad that I took that can't do out of my mind and that I took up the challenge to do so. And even after doing it, I sent the song to someone who was born in Kenya. So of course they speak Swahili. So I sent it over and I said, listen to this song and tell me if there's any slight slip up of anything, you have to tell me. And he listened and he was like, no, you got it.
Wow. Wow.
So, now, I hope I did. I did.
Is your understanding of the language fairly good, would you say? Or are you still learning?
No, there's still a lot for me to learn, you know. Okay. Maybe just in the greetings and, you know, how you're feeling or if everything's all right and, you know, if I'm cool, like things like that. Right. I can understand. But once they start talking, it's like, okay.
Yeah,
but
you just like...
One thing I must tell you though, when they speak, right? If you listen close enough, you will hear bits and pieces of how we speak patois in there.
Interesting.
That is what I found the most interesting about when they speak.
Interesting.
We kind of speak in the same order almost.
Yeah.
And I find that very fascinating. When I go there, I say, yo, you know, the only thing that I regret in life that ever happened to us is to be brought out of our land, right? And taught a completely different language. And when you land back in the land that we're from, you realize that you can't communicate like them to them.
Yeah.
That I find like disheartening a little bit, you know, at least.
Yeah.
But when you start to talk patois though, they understand every word. Straight patois. I'm not talk like a little mixture of English. No.
Right.
Straight patois, they understand everything.
Wow. Yeah. That's amazing. So it's like culturally we haven't lost that connection. They
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And even when I go to like places in Brazil and Nicaragua and maybe even Mauritius, the same remains true. The culture is very strong and we are very much connected and we act the same way. We do the same things. I remember I went to the Gambia and I saw a girl and her butt was huge and her waist was like this small. Right. And I was staring at her, right? And she had a bucket on her head, right? And she just kind of like jiggled it a little bit and smiled and walked fast. And I was like, isn't that what we would do if we were in Jamaica?
Yeah. Wow,
Yeah,
wow,
yeah.
it's amazing, and obviously one of the things I've noticed about you since I've been following you is you've developed this amazingly large fan base in Africa. Like, how do you maintain that? Like, is it from all the trips that you've made and social media and just like what is it about Africa and Etana that so has become so amazing?
Well, I don't know, to be honest. Like the first time that I went to the Gambia, I remember I only had like 3 songs.
Right,
And I remember when I was coming off that stage, I ended up performing for like 30 minutes or
right,
more
right.
of, doing a mixture of different songs. And when I was coming off the stage, people were crying. They
Mm,
were holding on to my skirt. They were
wow,
trying to touch me in any way they could.
right.
Um, I was crying, like the whole crew, like everybody. We were all like in tears.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And because it was that incredible. And the first time that I went to Kenya was with Richie Spice. I think he was on that show.
Okay.
Second time that I went, I was huge. My belly was big. And I thought they probably won't even remember me anyway because I'm so big right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that was not true. They remembered me. They remember everything. People came to me and told me what I wore the last time. And by the time I went back the third time to Kenya, it was unbelievable. Same
Mm,
thing with South Africa. So I think that Africa stays connected with reggae music.
yeah.
And they just find their favorite songs, favorite people, and we stay connected that way. And I think it's just a natural connection.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It clearly is. I mean, and the loyalty that's there. I'm looking forward to the release of Pamoja, and I'm sure it's going to not only do well here in the States and in Jamaica and the Caribbean, but Africa, I know, is going to truly appreciate every single. I mean, you have Stone Boy, you have all these amazing artists from Africa, from different parts of Africa.
Yep.
So I'm looking forward to it very much so.
Yeah,
Um,
I can't wait to hear their reaction.
yeah, yeah.
Um, I'm glad that I'm actually I'm happy to have all the artists that
Hmm.
participated in the recordings of this album, and I'm glad that the relationship and the respect and the love um, was steady and strong.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I appreciate that the most.
Definitely, definitely. Before you go, one of the things I wanted to talk about and or ask you really is like sort of the plans in addition to obviously the release, like in terms of
Mhm.
performances, any upcoming performances that people can who I'm sure are looking forward and ready to see a live performance can
There's
expect for 2021.
there's gonna be a live performance in North Carolina,
Okay.
South Carolina, Atlanta, and the shows are slowly coming in. Um, and I think that eventually
Mm-hmm.
we will get back to what it used to be. Like I can in 2019, I had to cancel. No, in the beginning of 2020,
Right.
I had to cancel over 30 shows.
Wow. Yeah.
Now that is something,
Yeah.
okay? And um, I had a whole touring, a whole routing throughout the United States, in London.
Mm-hmm.
I just finished a show in Australia when I came over in February of 2020, getting ready to do the America side,
Right.
and I had to cancel everything. So I look forward to putting the whole tour routing again. I have 2 albums.
Yeah,
One that
because
I released in
Gemini,
2020,
yeah,
Gemini,
Gemini, and now
yeah,
Pamoja. Yeah.
and now Pamoja. So and not to mention in 2019, there was Dimensions.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
right, so there's Dimensions, Pamoja, and Gemini. And now I
Wow.
have 3 albums of new music that I can't wait to be on this. I need to be on the stage like right now. I'm ready.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So people are gonna
Yeah.
be. It's gonna be an opportunity for people to really get to not. It's they're gonna get like a real treat because you have all these 3 albums, great music that people really didn't get a chance to really soak up. Um,
Yeah, exactly.
and of course social media, you're buzzing. So now you're releasing. You obviously the proper with Stone Boy is out.
Yeah.
You have Baby O,
Yeah.
that's out now, right? What's next before the release of the album? Anything next, or that's it?
Well, we're definitely gonna release another single.
Okay.
I think I have to do that. Like I have to do another single. And also I created 20 pieces of exclusive art,
Wow.
which is the cover of the album.
Wow.
However, it's done on wood, hand painted each piece.
Wow.
And each piece has, well, I'm not the artist of the actual picture on the wood, right? But I'm very much involved in how I want it to be.
Okay. Okay.
And with allowing the artist the freedom as well. And then on the back of the art, on the back of the wood, we'll have my signature engraved in the wood, his signature as well, and it will have his own serial number. So after the 20 is done, there will be no more of that art piece.
Wow. So I have to find a way to get mine. Definitely.
I will have the vinyl and CDs, right? So I think the system is slowly trying to fade out CDs,
right?
And for everybody to get to streaming. So soon CDs will be rare, like vinyls. I had vinyls for all my albums all the way up to Gemini, but not. I mean, I didn't do it for Gemini, and I didn't even have a physical for Gemini, which my fans argued about for a while. So I'm gonna have the physical for Gemini, the physical for Pamoja, limited amount of the physical. And I also have the vinyl for Pamoja with the artwork. Okay. So there's a lot for music lovers and art lovers to look out for.
Wow. Fantastic. I can't wait. And we're going to keep spreading the word. I just want to remind people of where to connect with you on social and your own website and so forth, so people can make sure they're following.
So they could go to Etana Music, ETANAMUSIC.com. Right. Or they could go to Facebook, One Etana, ONEETANA, Instagram, Etana Strong One, ETANASTRONGONE. Can't remember all of that, just go to etanamusic.com. Go to the bottom of the screen and you'll be able to see, or just click on whichever one you feel like.
Excellent. And we'll make sure to post it on Where It's At so people know where to follow and where to find you. I mean, Etana, I can't thank you enough. I mean, you blessed us in more ways than one. So I really, really, really appreciate you very much. And we look forward to supporting and promoting everything that you continue to do. And by the way, so I can't leave without, I love that piece behind you.
Oh,
what's your story behind that before we go? Because it's been bothering me.
So I was in Colorado.
Right.
And it was, just it was an almost sold out venue. I think they were just like 20 short of being sold out. And backstage, there was this marijuana company that gave us all like different packages and stuff and bags and a lot of things. But more than anything, the artist brought in this painting, like, wrapped in a paper covering. And when he ripped it off and I saw this art, under the paper, I was like over the moon for the whole day on the show. Wow. I mean, I sang so hard.
Wow. That is amazing. So this artist brought it for you, specifically for you.
Oh yeah. He was backstage with all the apothecary people. And they had different gifts and packages and all kinds of stuff. And while everybody was having a good time with everything that they got, I got this art piece.
One, Listen, thank you so much again, Etana. I look forward to much more, and looking forward to seeing you live soon somewhere. I'm coming. I don't care.
All right. I hope to see you then.
Yeah, man. Take care. All the best.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Proper. You want me to hand it over? Then come at me proper.